Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Plant Medicine, Cannabis, Psychedelics, and Pharmaceutics. I am so honored today to have this amazing girl, amazing, beautiful queen, amazing hero. I got a hero in the house, folks. I got a hero in the house. And I'm going to be telling you about my hero in a minute before we go into my hero. And you guys will see why I'm calling her a hero, man. Let's do good house cleaning. You guys know who I am already. In case you are new to our tribe, this is Dr. O, also known as Dr. Lola. I'm a clinical pharmacist by trade, and I am plant medicine lover. I used it growing up as a little girl in western part of Africa. So I'm bringing that knowledge as well as my clinical background to help you level up on your wellness journey using the healing powers of botanicals and education as tools. I'm the founder of WCI Health. We are alternative health and wellness hub where we help you level up on your wellness journey. What else is there as a good house cleaning? What else? Yeah, we got good house cleaning. This show is for educational purpose and should not be taken as medical advice. Consult with your clinician for all your medical needs. Do not stop or start any medicine without talking to your doctor. Having said that, why are we able to do what we do? We are able to do this probably because of our sponsor. And one of those sponsors is WCI Health. They are your alternative health and wellness hub. They are the makers of Glows and Glows Beauty CBD hemp-infused CBD product. They have master classes. They have pet shampoo, everything that you need for your CBD product. Head straight to wci-health.com. Or slide in the DM. DM is where the good stuff happens. WCI Health 19. And finally, without you, this show is not possible. When you are a member of Healthy Cost Wealth, or you are supporting us through the Patreon group or through the Apple Podcast, you are directly or indirectly supporting this show. Thank you so much for those of you that already joined our tribe. For those of you that are still waiting, we need you out here, folks. We need you. We need you. If you are a business owner and you would like to support this great work that we are doing, please jump on board, slide in DM, or head straight to website wci-health.com. I will personally respond to you. Thank you so much. So like I said, today we have an amazing hero here. I have with me Miss Sabrina Charli Smith. I call her Bree. She is my queen, my sister, my hero, and she is my home girl, Duval.
No.
No,
you don't.
This is our home girl, Duval. Let's give her a round of greetings all the way from Jacksonville, Florida. Duval.
Duval.
Yeah, that's my sister, Miss Bree. Brianna Bree is a combat hero. She's a veteran, decorated veteran, folks. That's why I call her a hero. This lady, she is selfless, gave up her own freedom to go defend ours. And she didn't, I love our vets. Without you people, we are not here. But she is decorated for combat. Doesn't get better than that. Thank you so much for your service to this great nation. Thank you for what you do for us. And Miss Bree, she is also the founders of Genie Healing Elements and the CEO of Krown Level Enterprises. This, my sister, She is a lady of many colors. She's amazing human. I love her. And I'm going to let her come in. Bree, thank you so much for coming to the show. We appreciate you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Bree. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service.
Give thanks, give thanks. As I start off, I want to start with gratitude. I see you as well as my sister. I see you as well as my hero. And I see you as well as a queen, as an empress of your own empire. I appreciate being on your platform right now. I appreciate you establishing your platform so we can have a place to be community.
Hallelujah.
A place to be united and be a
I share.
Absolutely. I'm on that plight of leveling up health. So I'm perfectly in the right place at the right time with the right person and the right people, because we are a following of collective minds that want a higher level of health. About me, I'm going to start from a little bit on my veteranhood. I was a child that graduated high school, went into the Air Force right after high school, finding my way. I followed my father's footsteps going into the Air Force. Gladly served, or I'm gonna say proudly served. I wasn't glad all the time, but it was a learn. I did that for about 15 years of my life, 4 active, 11, and 2 tours of combat. After my first tour of combat, I had some interesting behavior traits to arise after serving in combat, because when you come back from war, you're a different person. You see things much differently, and you process people and things much differently after you've had that very intense experience. I won't say it's always traumatic, just because we really need to understand that speaking in a level of war, even your health is at war if you're not taking proper care of yourself. There's a lot of things out here that poison us, whether it's our food, water, air, just name it. You know what I'm saying? Your deodorant. You have to know what to do for your wellness in order to stay well and keep yourself to a decorum of self-care. If you can't take care of yourself, and the moment that you realize that you can't wipe your own booty, your morale goes down. Absolutely. Then your immune system down, and then the rest of your system starts to follow it. So it's definitely a matter of the mind. So when I found that out in the military, I was just like, okay, well, I'm on a quest to be better. I've always been into staying fit and being decently healthy. When you operate in a military setting, you're an elite functioning working class member, meaning you are always on call. You're ready for everything that comes. When you get to the civilian world, it's a little bit different. People do it in the time that they're going to do it, and that's it. And the beauty of that experience is the military life prepared me for not only survival, but for success. My success turned into an obsession about wellness and wholeness. That's what I pride myself on, wellness and wholeness, because sometimes it's not just enough to be healthy. Sometimes you have to bring a complete full circle, a 360 degree, spherical form of how you take care of yourself. There's many components to taking care of self. So going on my quest to, trying different things out, still in the reserve service. And I started plant-based when I was about, 7, I'm 39 now. A lot of people can't tell my age because I am adamant about taking care of the regenerative properties that I was blessed. I got it from my mom.
Don't crack. Blacks don't crack. We don't crack. Yeah.
You're making me blush. The wellness journey. I was just, what's going to help me have a good life while I'm, serving my purpose, and and that time of searching for answers, trying to figure out what works, and then also experiencing the process we call life. I just was like, I'm gonna keep on this thing, and no matter what I had to invest, I used all my extra funding, meaning whatever I got paid that I didn't spend on bills and food, I spent it on, things that material that would advance me forward mentally more than they would physically. So over time, I developed an expert awareness of how the body works and how to bring people up to another level of wellness without talking to them like I'm a doctor or I'm the auntie or the mama, telling them, oh, you better do that. I say, hey, look, here's your options. Which ones which ones can you start with today? Which ones can you start with today? And I know how I ask myself questions over time. As a child that grew up in a military environment, I just maintained that structure over time. So that way I always had grounding. I've been a nomad literally all my life. And I appreciate it because that experience was the greatest education of all. A lot of us shortchange education to just being sitting in a classroom hours on end. And that's not all that education is.
Absolutely.
With what you're bringing forward, Dr. O, this is what we need. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't realize that we can get a lot of education from each other by just having conversations.
Absolutely.
You know, imagine if we had a room of, say, 50 to 100 of us just having conversations paired off and saying, like, man,
magic will happen. 100 of us in a room where it's going down.
All positive. And so I just, I took my level of expertise, and a lot of it's self-scholarship, but a lot of it's also making sure I surround myself with the right people. You are some of the people that you hang around the most.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is it? Your presence lets me know that the diligent work that I've been doing on my studies, not only work, but they are prevailing to really be a success momentum, not just a movement, but like a momentum, meaning it's reoccurring consistently over time. It's going to last past my generation. That's what I work so hard for. And wellness and wholeness also, to me, if anybody wants to get to know me, I'm passionate, and possibly obsessed about legacy. Yeah. You cannot get to your legacy if you're not healthy. You cannot get to your legacy if you're not well. So a lot of us shortchange our health for, I'm not actually well, I got this money. No, if you're sick, you're poor.
and that is why we need to be talking about that, Brie. We especially in our community, the Black Indigenous people of color. And I mean, how can we talk about cannabis without talking about the minority community? We have been the one at the receiving hand of the war on drugs. And the negative stigma that is attached to this plant is not just attached to the plant, it's also attached to our community. Talk to me about that negative myth, the lies. I don't even want to call it myths. I want to call it by the name it's supposed to be called, lies that have been spread about the potential, the healing powers of cannabis and other indigenous plants that our forefathers used for generations. Talk to me about that negative lies. I'm going to call it what it is, lies.
Please, by all means, do. Just so people are aware a little bit more about my background, I was in law enforcement in the military. Ooh. So I've seen my fair share of interesting things. Mm-hmm. The lies that are disparate. Cannabis is actually a healing and helping plant, but because it was made illegal some hundreds odd years ago, I'm gonna let you do your own research. Once upon a time, there's a fellow named J.D. Rockefeller that had enough money to make it an illegitimate substance, which I want to say it's a Schedule 2. Is it still a Schedule 2?
It's a Schedule 1. Cannabis is, and when you talk about Schedule 1, it means even cocaine is in Schedule 2. Cannabis and all these psychedelic plants, most of them are in Schedule 1. What does that even mean? It basically means under no chance in heaven or hell that this plant can be used as medicine. It's the most dangerous plant medicine on the planet. I mean, more dangerous medicine, but we have other epidermis and all these other plants, all this other medicine that is indirectly made from cannabis. I don't get it.
Absolutely. To add to that, the reason why I said the schedule part, because some of us need to pull up some of the jargon that is used against us, because there's so many people in jail. That's why we're saying that it's lies, because if it was so bad for you, why are people doing up to 10 to 20 plus years for possession? And they were probably using it as a substance user and not a distributor. there's a lot of people incarcerated right now, particularly of our Orients that look like us, that are incarcerated no matter what amount it is. And you got to think about it. They're legalizing it now. Are they going to now let those people that only have those offenses get out of jail? Absolutely not. They have to get their money. It's a money thing. And we have to understand that we make these decisions based off of being either informed or not informed. So right now, cannabis is the big bad wolf, is because we've been misinformed for so long. We believed it to be true. So we have to call it a lie, because it being a Schedule I drug means you get a lot of time in jail for something that, of course, we know that cocaine, heroin, and other Schedule I drugs do not do, or other things that are in that category.
Cocaine is even in the Schedule 2. Cocaine is in Schedule 2. That means cannabis, in their book, cannabis is more dangerous than cocaine. I mean, who does that?
Exactly. So, and it's mind altering to a point, as far as when we talk about cocaine, somebody's seen a cokehead by 2021.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's family or in the street, you've seen a cokehead by now. That the behavior of somebody that has consumed cocaine and the behavior of somebody that has consumed cannabis is inherently and very spectrum-wise different. Cannabis has specific side effects of giving you a sleepy feeling. You may need to hydrate a little bit more. You might be hungry, and your libido may influx depending on where your stress levels are.
And who says that is
so? With
bad?
that being,
who is that? you need,
right?
in a world where we don't get a sleep now. Let me tell you. Tell you something about sleeping pill like Zolpidem, Ambien. I mean, some people, when they take this medicine that's supposed to help you sleep, we have a side effect that we call rebound insomnia. What does that even mean? Basically means this medicine is supposed to help you sleep, but it's going to help keep you awake. That's one thing. There's another thing, that this medicine, you can take it, and some people, they will just get up and you go and walk out of the house without sleepwalking. We don't even know. You can get in your car and drive, and you are sleeping. And now, we give it to people every day.
And understand, people, she's telling you this because you are not conscious of your behavior at this time. That is it. Why is this a problem? You are not conscious of your behavior, and you injure or harm somebody, you're still equally liable for what your body did in that time where you were not conscious. Are you ready to pay those consequences? And we have to start thinking that intently about what we put in our bodies. And I do it like this because what do we tell the baby? Eat, right? This is eat, right? And this is more. You have to know what you're eating, what you're consuming. Even your pharmaceutical medicines, are they genuinely good for the science of your body, the custom on how your body's most optimal to perform? And I say optimal because when you feel at your best. You'll say, you'll wake up in that day and be like, you know what, I don't feel good right now. I feel a little, uneasiness in my tummy. I'm a little congested. Your body will tell you those things, and you will then speak it out your mouth to maybe your loved one, maybe yourself, and then try to find a resolution to deal with that. And being that said, I would like to, if we can, start drifting towards the healing properties of cannabis. Yes, we do have a lot of lies, and we do need to dispel that. But we can dispel that by us being educated about the healing properties, because there's more than, first of all, there's more than one way to consume cannabis. Absolutely. Second of all, you have to figure out what works for you. People like Dr. O and myself can really only help you if you listen to your vessel. If you don't listen to your vessel, you don't know what your blood type is, if you don't know what makes you nauseous, if you don't know what makes you feel adverse when you take it. I'm not talking about, it tastes nasty, and you know what I'm saying, and I had to go. I'm talking about, okay, you got to understand your body has to detox the toxins. You got to kick the toxins out in order for your body to be like, I am well. So you have to take that kind of yourself, just like you do with your child. Your body is just as important. How are you going to take care of your child, whether you're a man or woman? How are you going to be a good parent and you're not good mentally? You're not good in your heart because you got high blood pressure. You got heart troubles and indigestion. All those things lead to something that was a stressor that turned into a pain.
Mm-hmm.
We can catch our pain before it turns, but are we thinking about those things? And that's one of the things that I appreciate about cannabis, that it's helped me with over time. I don't want to, scare the living daylights out of people, but PTSD is petrifying. It's a constant reel of horror.
Yeah, I mean, who else is able to tell us about that part of what is going on? I mean, look at how many of our vets are coming on from this never-ending war. Thank God they have ended this Afghanistan one. Let our people come home and rest. So when you talk about PTSD, that is a major. And when you're talking about mental health issue, and if you are out there and you are triggered in any way, help is out there. Help is on the way. Slide in DM. Don't be there by yourself. I always try to encourage folks. Don't be, even your social media networks, they are part of your extended family. Don't be by yourself. These stuffs are real. A third of the people that are suffering from, say, like depression, they don't even respond to the conventional medicine. And we have over 300 million people suffering from this disease all over the world. Over 300 million people. That is outside of pandemic and COVID now. And one third of these folks that are our brothers and sisters don't even respond to the medicine that we have right now. But you are locking up cannabis, you're locking up psychedelic like mushroom, that the traditional antidepressants are even fashioned towards them. You're locking them up in Schedule 1. What is that?
And it's not fair, because a lot of us, if we're, again, back to being informed, if you're not informed, that it's, in a sense, follow the money, please, people.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out money. That's the reason why we are struggling with this misinformation situation. We are trusting too many sources to tell us the truth, and we're not finding it for ourselves. That's why all these lies are able to exist as truths.
I got a question for you, Bri.
We do have a lot of brothers and sisters locked up behind possession. We do have. Go ahead.
I got a question. Yeah. How do we begin to get our brothers and sisters out there? Because after all the lies, after you have locked people up in jail for just trying to maintain the balance to their body, because I tell people, if you are not thirsty, you don't go grabbing water. If you start grabbing food and water when you are not hungry or thirsty, then we call the doctor in. We say, oh, we got a problem here. When people use cannabis, it's because the system in our body, we have a system in our body. If it's not balanced, just like when you go, as we grow older, I keep using that analogy, as we grow older, we begin to take vitamins, because when we are younger, we don't need it. But as we age, our body changes, then we need vitamins. So if people don't need cannabis, if the body is balanced, nobody will need it, because what the endocannabinoid system does, that is the part of the body that cannabis binds to, is to balance us. So how do we begin to dismantle this lie and begin to reach out to our people about how they, because I mean, the cost of healthcare is crazy out there. And our people are not able to afford these medicines. How do we begin to break down that barrier to begin to go to them, considering that all the negative, the lies that has been spread about this cannabis? How are you doing it in our community?
I'm going to segue into Charli's Tea Party here shortly. But the best way to say, for instance, if you don't have any access to somebody like Dr. O, find somebody that you trust to have that conversation with. And a lot of it is feeling safe to have certain conversations. Because a lot of times, say for instance, a lot of people have a not so clear view of what actually blaspheming is. some people think that blasphemy is just merely asking the question just to be like, you know, God, why is this way? Sometimes you need to understand that asking the question is very imperative to your future. If you care enough about your vessel and about your life, your life's purpose, your family, if you can look at your children in your eyes and just look and still be comfortable in the, but there is 2021 to just even Google it. There's a lot of content creators that are out there. Yes, WCT, great information. Krown Level and KrownLevelENT.com. That's my website. That's another place to get, you know, to reach out to me. Even if the information is not on my site, I will answer.
And folks, we are going to be putting
your call. I will respond to you.
We are going to be putting Bree's contact in the show notes when we publish this episode.
So you go to, there's a lot of resources out there. There's dispensaries in your neighborhood. There are, matter of fact, ask your doctor. If you're, you know what I'm saying? If you don't trust asking your doctor or a professional that's in an office, there is somebody, there are outlets, there are sources. Even if you're not, he's like, oh, well, I don't want somebody to think a certain way. You have to ask questions in order to get the answers. Because
let me come in there right quick.
Let's just look at the pandemic and how it's.
Yes. Let me come in there right quick. The problem is that even the doctors, the physicians, many of them don't even have the knowledge yet because of the fear of losing licenses and the stigma that is out there. So only very few clinicians are beginning to self-educate themselves. Somebody like me, because I have a background in herbal medicine, it was easy for me to say, you know what, my people need me. I got to put a face to this. We cannot continue to hide in the closet, in the cannabis closet. So
let me ask
what I think people might even need to do is sometimes you feel comfortable with your own. Go, if you feel like you want somebody on your level that can break it down, then we have Bree here, Charli here, that has your love, has your, you know, she's coming from a place of love.
You make a great point with that. Going back to what you were saying about the doctor's medicine, and when it comes to terms of their practice, that's when you have to have discernment. You're saying you have to know that doctor's into herbal resolutions for health. Coming back to me, you know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people like me, but the literal reason why I'm out here showing my face is because there's enough of us that say, hey, look, I need answers for healing outside of having to go to the hospital, sit there and wait for hours, and then still have to pay thousands of dollars to wait in the lobby and then be seen and then wait some more and then wait some more and then have a big old bill to go with it. And you still don't have answers closer to what you need. By all means, my number is 904-442-3737. That's my business line to KrownLevelENT.com. KrownLevelENT.com. That's spelled with a KROWN. Why would I be out here doing this? Because I am passionate. I'm here in favor of you. The reason why my title says business operator, because yes, I'm operating a business, but I'm operating it in favor of the people that need the information with clarity, with consideration, and compassion. And which is what a lot of
I have another question for you, Britt, and that has to do with our vets. I mean, there was a couple of months ago, I appeared before the California State House to defend, to argue for allowing the veterans to use psychedelics for their wellness. I think SB 519 or so. Yeah, I think they ended up passing that. So essentially for our vets, what is going on in that community? They have been exposed to a lot of trauma with the never-ending war. How is that community holding on?
Thank you for bringing a light to that. Just so everybody's aware, every 22 seconds, there's another veteran committing suicide. the level of torment they go through. Yeah, it is, because at the end of the day, when you say that you're grateful for somebody's service, we need you to check on us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to tell you. We can't. We don't have it in our being to say,
we need to provide decent accommodation. We need to provide food. We need to provide health care that works.
Now,
we need to give access to you guys to good health care with less side effects. If a veteran says, I want to use herbal medicine, there shouldn't be a barricade to prevent them from using herbal medicine. People have used herbal medicine for generations. Does that mean it's for everybody? That's not what we are saying. Because we have people with underlying condition that might interact with some of this herb. The herbal medicine, exactly what we are calling it is a medicine. But at the same time, it's a nutrition too. Just like your spinach, your garlic, your ginger.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that, because the reason why a lot of the times we struggle is because we don't have sufficient support, whether it's family or medicine. And so people understand we are perfect petri dishes for what the doctors that are on the other side of Dr. O want. We are perfect petri dishes for all of the experimental drugs that have gone through our system. I've had anthrax put in my system. I've had penicillin. I've had to take malaria to go downrange. Downrange is another form of saying, oh, I went into combat. All those, and now to speak directly to the ones that I've taken, they are mind altering. They alter the chemicals in your brain, people. That's why a lot of us can't really tell you what's going on, because we're trying to figure it out ourselves. So with that being stated, a lot of times we are short-sighted because we'll go back to the hospital because that's what we're used to doing. We're used to, and when we were in service, all we had to do was go to the hospital. They'll tell us what we're supposed to have, and then we'll go from there. It's not the same dynamic when we get out. We go to the hospital. Even myself, they put me on trazodone, and I almost died 3 times. Had a whole episode and didn't go to sleep for like 3 weeks. So y'all need to understand that.
And I need to quickly come in also. I need to quickly come in, and I'm going to let you continue. And we are not saying you should stop your medicine. Do not stop your medicine. What we are saying right now, this is education. Just take the initiative to take your health in your own hand and find out, get to know if there are other alternatives out there that can help, even if it's not going to cure the ailment. If it can at least help with the symptoms, the side effects that we see in all this medication, then discuss it with your healthcare provider. We're not saying, oh, you should be your own doctor. No, you find out what is going on. If there is any alternative for you, then you discuss it with your doctor. That is what we are canvassing for. Go ahead, Bree.
Absolutely. And we're also making sure that even with your doctor, they can only help you as far as that you know how your body operates. So a lot of times you have more power. Matter of fact, you have the power in your hands. You just need to realize your health is your responsibility to take care of first. Then everyone consuming the items that affect your body's operation. And the reason why y'all hear me talk about the body like a machine a lot is because if you don't put the proper, say for instance with your vehicle, if you don't put the proper oil in there, you don't put the proper gas in there, you don't put the proper maintenance on there on a consistent basis, you will not have a vehicle for very long. Your body is much the same way. Your hydro fluid may be the moringa. You know what I'm saying? Your gasoline may be the sea moss. You're relaxing, saying when you need to decompress and not have it induced by other things and you can't quite use your breathing techniques. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you people all these different techniques because this is a regimen that I put together for myself over time. I'm just sharing it with people so that way we're out here. We want to share information. We're passionate about making sure that you have ways to know how not to just change your health, But you, at some point, Dr. O asked me, what do we do about this? Learn your law, learn how law works in your municipality to
that
make
was
the
what I was
advantages you
about to
need
ask.
for
That what
your
are
wellness in your community.
Yeah, that was what I was about to ask.
Then you'll get the health.
Yeah, that was what I was about to ask you. What are the legalities surrounding this plan? Because we don't, even right now, there's still that gray area, even for CBD, even for hemp. If we are not careful, they can mistake hemp for cannabis. So talk to us about that part of it. How you advise people that are educating from you to navigate that area?
Find, first of all, figure out what the actual local laws for the legalities for cannabis in your local area. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of states around Florida. Not every state is into cannabis use. And what we greatly need to understand is even though your state says yes, the feds still say no. Why is this important? Because you cannot be shocked if the feds decide to come kick in your door, say they have a warrant for whatever, because you have cannabis. You have to understand your rights as a card-carrying member. And I do say card-carrying member because I'm a card-carrying member here in the state of Florida. That allows you a level of usage and allow a certain amount that you're allowed to have on your person because it's your medicine.
Yeah.
As long as it's your medicine.
I have a card myself. I have a card myself.
Excellent. And so you understand. So like as far as the legal parameters, and there's also a lot of cannabis focused lawyers that practice law specifically in that. Find who those people are in your local community. There's a lawyer I will be referring to you here shortly, Dr. O, that I had witnessed to her educating the community at Buds and Brunch. And if you haven't been out to Buds and Brunch here in Jacksonville, it's the same thing. It's elevate, educate in the eyes of cannabis. It's a safe environment, and it gives you an opportunity to learn physically, because a lot of us don't do well online. So if you're trying to find local events that will educate you in a safe space and you don't have to be there past, sundown, I provide those events. It's called Traumatized Tea Party. Consultant Group provides.
I was about to get to that. Bree. I know you were organizing an event, and I'm going to be speaking, folks. I'm going to be speaking at Bree's event. Talk to us about that event and what you need the community, what support you need from the community. Because if you organize an event that you're trying to reach out to help people to learn more about taking care of their health and wellness, and people refuse to sign up for that event, it's like your hands are tied. Exactly. You want to help people, but your hands are. So talk to us about this event and what you're going to need people to do to make it a success. And like I say, folks, I'm going to be speaking at Bree's event. Whenever this hero calls me, I'm going.
Give things. Thank you for segueing into Traumatized Tea Party. And FYI, not a pop-up shop. And the reason why I'm specifically saying this is because everybody thinks that anything to do with cannabis right now, because the cool thing is, because I'm hip, I stay abreast to what is going to counter my message of purity and consideration. Pop-up shops aren't bad, but they're not learning environments. You can network, you will find people that are knowledgeable, but they're not necessarily going to be in the space to say, educate you intently, like me and Dr. O are bringing forth this information to you via our websites and via our constant life work. Traumatized Tea Party is an opportunity for you to have access to working professionals like Dr. O and the lawyer that I'm going to present to you guys through Dr. O's information as well as mine. To have a face-to-face space with them, safe space, of course, we consider all precautions, wear masks and everything like that. Give you an opportunity to learn from them, their life's work, what they've seen, what they can contribute. Because by the time that you get in with that session, that's about an hour and a half of just being edutained. And I say edutained because we all know we need a little sugar to go with our learning. So a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. That's how Charmi Charli's approach is to bring the message of positivity and healing. Positivity and healing. I'm going to say it one more time. Positivity and healing. And cannabis using in your system so that way you can become a better person for yourself. It is not a drug for you to be addicted to. It's not a drug for you to be dependent on. I literally use it as a tool to learn, say, you know what, breathe. I don't want to do this way. Let me breathe, take a moment, and try and find another way. It gives you an opportunity to pause really and be like, you know what, there's a better way to do this. How do I do that? So when you're in Charmi Charli's Tea Party, you get all of this information while you're sitting there. Your gears are turning, you're getting new information, and you're having actual access to sit there after you get entertained for about an hour and a half. You get an hour, a whole hour to ask questions, to dialogue, and some of the experts may be in the audience. It is an open forum for you to have an open discussion conversation to pull that conversation forward for all of us outside of that space. So these events happen quarterly, and I am not the only one around town pulling this forward. There's also a consulting group called SK Consulting Group, and they have Buds and Brunch. It's coming up this Sunday. And then we also have Elevate and Educate. Elevate and Educate. It's a little bit different delivering pattern, but the same ideal of I'm going to educate you so that way you know what you need to walk out the door. As soon as you walk out the door, you can use this information to your advantage. There's so much that we do online, and then sometimes we forget to use it as we go out into the real world. Everything that brings forth in Charmi Charli's Tea Party, and if you've been following Dr. O, you can use this information as you walk out the door, and you can share it, and then you can pull that conversation forward. What I need from y'all, what I need from us, because I'm doing it for all of us. It's not just for y'all, because this is my life's work. I'm gonna say it one more time. This is my life's work as a veteran, as a woman that is purpose-driven and principle-based. Purpose-driven and
absolutely. Yes.
We have to get clear that I'm here to help you find your way, not tell you what to do. I'm here to help you find, not tell you what to do. Dr. O's the same one. We just want to provide the information in a positive way. We want to provide it with smiles. We want to provide it with consideration, the compassion that we all deserve. Because if you're constantly rough with your tempo, you're constantly rough with your state of mind, that's what you're going to continue for however many years. And then what you going to do when you're black crack? You know what I'm saying? What you going to do when you're I could have did,
talk to me as we are wrapping up this session, Bree. What is your advice for folks that maybe they are new to the cannabis space? Of course, the decriminalization and all that. What is your advice for people that are new, that want to know more, or people that want to even take it a bit further and get into the cannabis as a business? Because we are being left behind. We were the forefront of war on drugs, but it's time to make money off of this plant. We're still being left behind. What is your advice to our people to be proactive? How can we be proactive in our community? Because your health is your wealth. And if you are not even, if you don't even have money to take care of your health, how can you even be able to talk? And I also want you to mention as far even our vote. It's not just giving our vote to just anybody. Our vote is our power. Talk to me about that as we wrap up this session for our because we need to begin to use our voice and our vote and everything, all the tools in our toolbox to make sure the power that be are listening to us, especially Black women.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you being courageous with me in this space, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, you're a woman. I really don't care about all that. My people need information. Just to start here, as far as the business side of things, learn law and figure out where your niche is. My niche is tea, shea butters, and soups. Do I provide other products? Yes, but that's my stronghold, and that's what I can help positively guide people through, and it not be too adverse to their experience of learning. You really need to find your resource center for business. SBA is possibly a good resource center. And then there's buzzforveterans.org, I believe, is a good resource for learning how to maneuver. And the reason why I say for veterans, a lot of times people like, oh, well, it costs so much money. Yes, it is, but there's resources out for this particular research. So anybody that you know that has grant writing ability or great grant writing experience, and they know how to shop for grants and they know how to hunt for them, that's a good way if you're worried about investing into this direction. Do your due diligence on your research to know what works for you and does not work for you business-wise. Everything about business is about risk management. What decisions are you willing to make in a time frame to move your machine of brilliance forward, your success formula? Definitely write you out a good business plan, because you're going to need it for out to 5 years, because cannabis it's a great wave right now, because I want to say we're on the wave of like maybe 10 to 15 year mark of it being more popularized in this day and time. Being the fact that, the coming years, it's been state after state legalizing it, and then making it available in certain ways. Like in this state, it's available and recreational. You need to know the difference in your state and your local laws, how to vote about it, learn who your local politicians are, your councilmen. Start from the lower levels and then work your way up to the House representatives and the senators that are in favor of what you're in favor of business-wise. That way you can then at some point make a collective, because this is a collective effort, because it's not just one thing that you have to do. So I'm glad that you asked that, Doctor. And I have to say all these things because it encompasses your ability to actually see the power move in your favor. And yes, we have to do all of these things. You have to learn the cannabis law in your local area. You have to learn who's available to exercise, who's already in that avenue of practice. So finding lawyers that are already in that expertise level, you're gonna have to be willing to spend money for information. That's number one. I probably should have said that first, because that is going to be essential to you being able to know how to get together 100 other business owners on the same bill of cannabis. Now we're moving something, because we're moving the vote as a collective. One vote, yes, it doesn't go very far, but if you get a network, a collective of people to vote in the same direction, then you have something. That's how we need to pull our power forward. Voting has power, but you need to understand what makes the vote work. If you don't know what makes your vote work, that's why it's like giving a homeless person money and you believing that they're going to go use it for food every single time. And I'm not saying that to be facetious, but it's that much of a crapshoot if you don't do that next step of research. So when you make it to where you can form a collective for that vote, yes, you are. But see, here's the thing. You're all voting separately, but consciously, you've all agreed to vote in favor of this particular bill going forward for your business to move forward in this direction. And it minimizes the ability to be misinformed so frequently and so often. So what we really need from y'all is those of you are willing to be a collective effort over time. This does not happen overnight. We need your support consistently. I'm not telling you to keep dumping money into my business. That's not what we're saying to you, even Dr. O. That's why we provide services that are available for you to take part in, but you have to take part in what we provide. Dr. O has clinical education as well as her ancestral education. Ancestral education is inherently intense because this is how she's lived her life. A lot of people struggle with this because they don't know how to live this way. when you see people live that way and then also practice it on the level in which you can understand, oh, okay, well, Dr. O knows what she's talking about. She has on a white coat. That white coat only solidified that she got the other side of the education. So that way she give you a complete package to be like, okay, this makes sense now. We have to do a lot of work. Absolutely. People don't understand how much work it takes to give you a collective. It's not just a overnight situation. It's not that hard when you have assistance, but we can only support you all if y'all support the endeavors we pull forward. We've invested into, because we hear the cries. We're answering, we're responding. We need you to respond as well so we can reciprocate this process to where we need it to go for the have the healing and the balance that we deserve. Because it's possible, it's attainable, but you have to be proactive and not reactive. Again, proactive, not reactive, proactive, not reactive, and we can get some things moving forward. Again, this is not a selling thing. This is, how are we going to educate you and we don't have the funding to get you the information?
That's what I'm going to start that. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah.
We're not passing our collection plan. We collected our skills in a package and said, hey, I can produce this to you if, as long as I have this return. You know what I'm saying? Even I've had people give me donations just because they like what I'm doing. They was like, you know what, this, I appreciate it. So even if you can just donate, figure out where your position is. If you're a donator, donate. If you're a supporter and you're somebody that needs the product, somebody that's dealing with chronic pain, terminal illness, insomnia, anxiety issues, cannabis helps all of these things and then some. Those particularly, we struggle to find medicines or herbal remedies that are not so adverse to the system when it comes to that. We have to support in order to move forward. Me and Dr. O can only support each other but so much. I'm gonna buy her products and she's gonna buy mine.
Yeah.
But how many times we gonna circulate that now before we get it up?
How many times can you buy a book? How many times can you buy one book?
Exactly. And it's only 50 pages. We're providing you information for the biggest discount. We've already discounted the prices, people. Sincerely. Yeah. Think about how much this genuinely costs and what we're providing it for. So, and it's not about saying, well, you just saying that. Yes, there's write-offs. Yes, we're intelligent about what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We're on post for you guys. Just like I was on post on downrange, I'm on post for you right now for your healing. What we gonna do?
I know. I know.
Right now, what you gonna do? He's in here with a smile waiting.
Mama, you are a dynamite, comes in little packages. I am so appreciative of you. Me and you, we can stay here forever. We can stay here, but I'll definitely bring you back. Yeah. I need you to talk to our folks again, and we're going to be putting Bree's information in the show notes when we publish this episode. Like I said, we had a little audio issue. Guys, you just have to bear with us. Whatever it takes is how we're going to get the message across to you. Even if it's just one sentence you are able to go home with, take it with you and make wise use of it. At the end of the day, your health is your wealth. If we ain't healthy, how we going to go out there and make money? How we going to go out there and live the life that our makers has called us to live? Bree, talk to me. Tell me where can our audience find you?
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you for asking me. And just to start off this conclusion with, I am honored to be here serving with somebody that is so passionate and so wonderful and so just oodles of awesome. Oodles of awesome in her package.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you for making yourself accessible and tangible. Y'all don't understand how much of a gem this lady is to us in our community. Please find me on either Instagram or Facebook. Of course, you're going to see my link tree in the bio. First, I'm going to start off with my website because I have a consultation button and it comes straight to me. So www.cannabis, Krown. Again, KrownLevelent.com. 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 That comes straight to me. And if you have any suggestions, you have anything you want to ask me, that's a good way to access me. And yes, the number works. And I'll get back 48 hours. My IG is Charli's Tea Party, CharliZ, Tea Party, common spelling. That's my IG. I also have another IG, which is Miss Smith Legacy, MZ_SMITH_legacy. MZ_legacy, MZ_Smith_legacy. And then you can catch me on Facebook, Genie's Healing Elements. Genie is spelled GENIE', Healing, HEALING, Elements, ELEMENTS. Genie's Healing Elements, after my good old auntie in Jamaica. So find me on Genie's Healing Elements, or you can say, if you already know me in these streets, S Charli Smith, S space CHARLI space Smith. You can find me on Facebook those two ways, IG those two ways, and you can also find me on KrownLevelEnt.com. If you can't find me that way, hit Dr. O.
We're gonna put those information in the show notes, folks. And if y'all want to find Charli, Bree, our hero, and y'all don't get any of those, you can slide in Dr. O's DM and I'll connect you with her. Thank you, Queen. You are amazing. Thank you for your service to this great nation. Thank you for your families, because you weren't the only one that served. Your family, your dad served this nation that you followed in his footsteps. We appreciate the sacrifice so much. And I am always here whenever you need me. I'll be there for you. You guys have sacrificed for us. We can only do our best to support whatever you're doing. Slide in DM anytime you need Dr. Ho. Folks, that's our show for today. You guys have heard it. If you are go ahead, Mama.
Can I get one?
Go ahead.
One thing, the last thing. Because I'm on a platform that is safe enough to say it. Black people, it doesn't matter what diaspora you are, connect.
Absolutely.
She's Nigerian originally, and I'm born in America. We are Black. We have to connect.
Absolutely.
How are we going to have a resource to go back? I thank you so much, because just like my family served, your family served too. And was beautiful enough to say, I'm not going to have a stigma between me and my people. I'm going to connect.
Absolutely.
Understand.
Yeah.
If we're going to be in this together, we have to be in this together.
Yeah, and I'm about to start a new clubhouse room specifically. It's gonna be targeted to us. It's gonna be African diaspora cannabis psychedelic club, where I'm coming there. I see a need. I do have cannabis psychedelic club right now, but I'm noticing that our people are not really coming in. So I'm getting ready to start that cannabis African diaspora cannabis psychedelic club. We're gonna be addressing a whole lot of this issue. Thank you, Charli, so much for what you do. Folks, you just heard an amazing hero pour out our hearts to us and tell us all this good stuff. You got to support her. She's been there for us. Our family's been there for us. We got to be there for her. If there's no sales going on in the business, we're going to be packed up. So you need to slide in our DM and support her in any way, shape, or form. As for me, this show is possible. Yeah. This show is possible because of our sponsor. If y'all ain't sponsoring this show, we're finna close it down. So if you are a business owner and you would like to support what we are doing, slide in the WCI Health 19 or head straight to the website, WCI-health.com. We need you to help us take this message to the next level. And for those of you that are yet to pick up my book, A Pharmacist's Guide to Cannabis, this should be your cannabis Bible. Yeah, it's a small Bible, but this is really packed. And I'm going to be, Charli just got a copy. I'm going to be sending it to her when I leave here. This got you have your cannabis. You're wondering, what is the topping that's going to help me to sleep? It's in this book. What route of administration do I need? It's in this book. What is CBD again? It's in this book. What is CBG again? Is in this book. Basically, everything and a little humor. You guys can see the vibe between me and Charli. All the humor is in there as well. So go grab your copy, wci-health.com. If you are not in if you are not in United States, you are out of the country, you can get it on Amazon, at Amazon, and it's also available in the Kindle version. We are Cannabisiac and Mosaic Group. They're doing amazing thing for the BIPOC community. And Marie Sorrell, she is an advocate. She's passionate about building wealth in BIPOC community. They're going to be reviewing this book on the 29th of September as their book of the month. Go check out on my IG WCI Health 19 and get your ticket. Get your ticket and come support your own. I haven't said that. If you have any question, feel free to slide in my DM. Like I said earlier, if you are triggered in any way, especially our military family, we love you. We are here to support you. If you are triggered in any way, feel free to slide in my DM. I will be glad to talk with you. Do not stop your medicine without talking to your doctor. Having said that, I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Until next time, remember, health equals wealth. Bye, guys. See you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.